Either you drive down the highway or you're just looking through the internet, you will see these school bus conversions popping up everywhere. You may see many variations of these school buses, from 30 foot down all the way to maybe 15 foot. This lifestyle is rambunctious and possibly even for you. What up guys, my name is Jared and today I will be explaining to you why you too should buy a Skoolie. Now, I understand that school bus life might not be for everybody. Some people like to just stay in one spot, and honestly, I can understand that. But what I can say is that I know for a fact so many people get up into their like 30s, 50s, maybe even 60s, and they look back at life and they wish that they could have done things different. They wish that they would have went out and explored more. So what I'm saying is, you should not wait until you are that age. I don't want you guys to grow up and then say to yourself that you made a mistake. I want you guys to grow up having those stories to tell your kids, maybe even your grandkids, that you lived in a bus for a part of your life. And don't get me wrong, you will get called probably hippies or hobos or anything like that, but realistically, you're not, because you could live a different lifestyle, but you choose to live the free lifestyle, be able to live whenever, wherever you want. Life is way too short to just sit there and do nothing time and time again. The next question that you guys probably have is, how difficult is it to do? Now, let me tell you, nowadays with the community, there have got to be tens to maybe even hundreds of thousands of people out there doing Skoolie conversions, or maybe you want to do like a van life conversion. It's a huge community though, and you can learn and do pretty much anything from this community. Everybody has always been so helpful. I am doing a school bus build, and I have had so much help since then. People always try and tell you what to do, what you can improve, and just all around help you out in the whole process. And yes, lately because of the explosion of the Skoolie and van life builds, the bus prices have gone up, and you might have to wait a long time to possibly find your bus. I waited at least 5 months. Now, that's just because I have a Skoolie on a budget. I don't have that much money to offer because I'm a college kid, and I found my bus. It's a 27 foot for $2,500. They are definitely out there, you just have to wait. That's all I have to say about that. But let me tell you, when you do find a bus, it is the best feeling. It feels honestly like buying a new house that just isn't completed yet, doesn't have anything done with it, really anything, but it's still just as cool. Now that we have covered why you should get a school bus and like the feeling of it, I think the next reasonable question to answer is, what size of bus do you want to get if you go into this next stage of your life? A 27 foot bus for me personally, that is great. It's small enough where I can park it within 2 parking spots, but I know for most of you, you might need a lot more space, maybe even a lot less space. But if you do need more space, they have 30-foot buses. Honestly, the bigger the bus, the cheaper it is, because when it comes to taking it on the road, it can become very inconvenient because you don't have spots to park it. Not as many places will let you go there with a 30-foot school bus, but sometimes you just need that space. I have seen 30-foot school bus conversions with families in them. Families up to 8 and plus 2 dogs is what I have seen. Or maybe you're just like me. You're one person, maybe you'll find a girlfriend in the future, maybe it's a boyfriend, and you just don't need that space. In that case, the smaller you get, from what I've seen, at least on Facebook Marketplace, is the buses get more expensive. So, reasonably, it will probably take more time for you to get a good deal unless you have a budget that can, you know, afford pretty much any bus at any time. And it probably will be easier for some of you than others. For me, a smaller bus, it just feels more homey. You know, I like the feeling, it's not as much work and it won't cost as much money to convert, I guess you could say. This is when the best part comes into play. You can design your tiny house any way you want. And yes, it can get expensive, but when you relate it to things like, let's say, the cost of a house and insurance and all of the bills that you get, when you put that into perspective, it makes it a lot more worth it to build a house out of a bus. For me, I want to build mine like a log cabin, but for you it might be something else. In most houses and apartments, you can't have that freedom to just build the house however you want to. So that is the main reason, if out of anything that I've said in this whole video, on why I think that you should buy a school bus and convert it into a tiny house. That's pretty much gonna be all for it today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you liked my content, I would really appreciate you to smash that like button and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.